Hi everybody, welcome back to Katawa Shoujo with me, Millbee. Okay, let's carry on. Rin is sitting, so yeah, last time we just, I don't know, so I was like the first or whatever, and he's in the art room and he's looking at Rin. Rin is sitting to my right, slowly working on a painting while I'm idling the time away. I don't think she realizes I've been watching her this whole time. With a nimble move of her delicate ankle, he's developing a foot fetish. I guess you kind of have to, really, with her. She dips the brush into the crimson paint and pressing it lightly on the canvas. A stain spreads around as if the brush was bleeding. She got no toenails. What the hell? Her progress has slowed down to a crawl, but by now I've learned that it's as dangerous for her technique, as the paint must not be allowed to dry before she's finished. It occurs to me that I'm literally watching paint dry, and yet somehow I'm not feeling bored, despite spacing out just now. Most of the time, the art club is very relaxing and freeform, apart from times when Nomiya gets really excited about some technique or style he wants to teach us about. Everyone is free to pursue their own interests. Lacking one, I keep floating around without a direction. I try this and that, but nothing really leaves me with a deeper impression. Not to mention that I don't seem to have a special knack for anything. Well, I did get praise for my attempt at watercolours, and I felt pretty good about that myself, but that's it. I suppose it's to be expected. I joined the club mostly on a whim, after all. I'm thinking that maybe I should quit the club. This is going to be this pointless, but there's nothing really wrong with pointlessness. I can't exactly say I'm unhappy. Unsatisfied maybe, but I've only got myself to blame for that. As the pair of girls exit the club room with a cheerful "Bye-bye!" Nomiya stands up. Nomi stands up from his desk. His chair scoots back with a loud screech that breaks into the harmony of this quiet afternoon. He taps a pile of papers in his hand twice against the tabletop in order to straighten them, then he stretches his back. I have a faculty meeting to attend, so I can't stay. I'll have to do some paperwork later, so if you want to stay, we can talk. Sorry about this. If you want to stay, we can talk then. There you go. There are two people here, but he's really talking to only two of us. Nomiya spends extra hours of his time mentoring Rin after official club hours are over, and I'll bet he'd like to discuss his plan of getting Rin's art into the gallery a little more. It's alright. I think I'll probably be here, but it's not a big deal if I'm not. I don't really have much going on. Rin answers without moving her eyes, her work in progress. The tone of her voice is neither the polite kind expected when talking to a teacher, nor her usual monotone. So I won't need to send a search party if you aren't here? Yes. No thanks. I don't like to party. We can talk later. What?
Ha! Good girl!
Don't want to party. I want to party. Get some blow. Smiling, the teacher picks up the rest of his paper and makes his way to the door. I glance at the clock above it and then at my watch to double check. They're 3 minutes apart, but nevertheless, the club's meeting time is over now. Rin seems intent on staying here to work on her piece while waiting for the teacher. I can't quite imagine what their one-on-one time would be like. Would they actually discuss anything? Rin is always so subdued in what she says, and when she does say something, it's difficult to understand what she's talking about. Maybe Nomiya just talks endlessly like he does at club meetings, letting Rin absorb what she will from his infinite well of art knowledge. Like a sunflower turning to face the glowing sun. Do you mind if I stay? I thought maybe I'd give watercolors another try. I blurt out the excuse sort of accidentally, embarrassing myself. Rin doesn't take her eyes off the painting. Okay. I shift around in my chair, then get up to fetch a cup of water, brushes, colours, and some paper. The sound of my footsteps invades the still afternoon air. Before starting, I try to recall what the teacher told us. An important philosophy of the medium. Working of watercolours means more working with water than working with colour. I try to keep that in mind and dip my tiny sable brush into the water cup. I'm mixing yellow and blue, trying to capture the sunlit treetops outside of the window. The sun is low, so the yellows are more pronounced and everything looks darker. I still can't quite connect what I see with what my hand does with the paints, but it's a passable attempt for my level. After a while, I start losing my focus and move the paper aside, deciding to watch Rin work for a while instead. Little while stretches first into a long while, then into a really long while. That really long while. Man, that really long while. It doesn't look like she's painted anything different. She'd just be sitting there with the paintbrush stuck on the thing. Rin paints her entire being fully concentrated on the brush between her slender toes. You're getting a foot fetish. Oh man, let me kiss your toes. Yeah. And the painting comes to life one stroke at a time. The creepy painting full of mouths and skulls and eyes. She seems determined and yet at the same time relaxed, effortlessly moving the brush around, never hesitating. Colours meet and part, mix and cover each other on the canvas, bending to her quiet will. I don't know anything about composition, structure, or any of that stuff, but I really like Rin's paintings. I like how she looks when she paints. As usual, the silence between us compels me to speak rather than merely wait for her to open up. She might end up saying nothing at all. Do you mind if we talk? I don't mind. I kind of wanted to ask more about why you get so weird about this thing the teacher wants to arrange for you. Rin picks up a tube of paint and squeezes it between her toes on a palette, almost as easily as someone with opposable thumbs would. Taking up a brush again, she replies, "A lot of things, and some not things. Unthings. I don't think that's a word. Unthings. Do you want to talk about it?" I try to reach out to her clumsily, ignoring the embarrassing feeling of awkwardness. Rin keeps her focus on the painting, spreading more and more paint on the canvas, her lips forming a perfectly straight line as she concentrates on the job. Not really. Talking is hard. I mean, it's not hard. I'm talking even now, but saying the right things is really hard for me. No matter what, I just can't say the things I want. That sounds weird. It's true. I say all kinds of things that I don't really mean all the time. And sometimes I forget words, then I use the wrong words. I even come up with the new words for things that already have some. That's the worst thing. I get really nervous and everything comes out a mess, and even I don't really understand what I want to say. I think there's something wrong with me that makes it like this. Remember when I said I can only think of 4 things at the same time? I nod wordlessly. It's not really 4. I mean, it is 4, but everything else is also there, kind of in the background. Like being at an amusement park and a beehive at the same time. But that's not the point. Man, I mean, like, so many times I've been like, being in an amusement park and thought, man, it's like a beehive. This is like a beehive. I used to do better. Like 6 or 7 things. I think so, at least. I feel like I'm becoming dumber. I don't think everyone has times when they feel like they can't say the right things. Sorry, shit, wrong voice. Hisao has turned into Rin. Ah, hello. Both of them get that voice now. I think everyone has times when they feel like they can't say the right things. But it isn't there all the time. Stronger and deeper? Yeah, deeper is a good word. I like that word, deeper. It's that feeling of being underwater. Maybe it's just art. The more I paint, the more words I forget. Maybe at some point I'll forget how to speak completely. Feels like I'm slowly forgetting everything. Do you remember what you thought about things? Do you remember what you thought about things 3 or 4 years ago? I don't. A long pause ensues. My god, she's a weird girl. A long pause ensues, during which time seems to blend around itself, almost tying itself into a knot. I don't think I've ever heard Rin talk this earnestly and for so long about anything before. It's like I'm fading away from the world. Rin's foot has stopped, its work on the canvas as she's staring at her painting, unmoving, as if gazing at some faraway horizon. Sunlight briefly glints in the corner of her onyx eyes. Something floats up into the top layer of Rin's being and she lets out a long breath. And then she blinks and it's gone. Paintings stay behind. When I look at my old things, I remember what I was thinking back when I made them. They make me feel like I can be with all the past mess, then I was a different me. I guess they are a proof of my existence. She uses the exact same words Nomi used when he spoke to us of the nature of art. I don't think Rin was paying any attention back then. I wonder if she was listening, or whether she had heard the same passionate speech from Nomi before. Either way, I feel overwhelmed. Boy, are you complicated. I would have taken up writing a diary. If you could write. Her eyes quickly flicker to my direction, and then back to the painting, but she doesn't pick up the brush anymore. That's a great idea. Why didn't I ever think of that? Are you being sarcastic? What's sarcasm? I don't call her on the joke if it is one. Right at that moment, Nomi returns from his meeting. He waves to us a very melodramatic hello. Mildly surprised to see me here along with his pet student. Walking with a boisterous gait to the desk, he drops his paper upon it. Papers. He picks up a handkerchief and cleans his glasses with incredibly meticulous care before walking over to us. Before he's within earshot, Rin says something to me in a quick, quiet voice. Change is the scariest thing in the world to me. And I seriously don't know if I want to change into a person who could do the things the teacher wants me to do. I don't know even if I wanted to.
Hello again!
Hey, hello.
What's going on?
He smiles a bit sheepishly at both of us with an inhibited interest. Nothing, just talking about things of your acquaintance and that thing of your acquaintance in the gallery for Rin's works, sort of.
Oh, any decisions?
I look at Rin, who is trying to arrange the bothered expression on her face into something else. Anyway, I don't think you have much else to say other than that you should go for it. What? Isn't like you'd hesitate at this. I think you'd be a big hit because it'd be exciting. What? Oh my god. I think you'd be a big hit? No. It isn't like you would all to hesitate like this. I have to see what decision to make. I'm sorry. I can't make it on my own. I need to know. Okay, so apparently it isn't like you. Apparently you get a different scene if you pick. I think you'd be a big hit. But the one told me to pick is it isn't like you to hesitate like this. I'm sorry. And sure people be like, why can't you just make decisions your own? Because I can't, alright? I want to get the good ending and I can't. It's gonna bug me the whole time if I feel like I picked the wrong one. So we're going to pick that one, and then we'll go back afterwards and pick that one. It isn't like you at all to hesitate like this. This isn't like you. You told me that people should do things they can't just because they can. Now you're being all wishy-washy yourself about something that's this important. I don't think I want to talk about this. I'm going. Rin stands up and trots out the room, without anyone saying anything more. I'm sorry. I think I made her upset. It's the right decision. It told me to make that decision, so I picked that decision.
Don't worry about it. She'll be fine, I'm sure. I'll talk to her later.
Nomi looks at me over his circular pink glasses, smiling sympathetically.
You've made friends of her, then?
Oh, God. Naki. Ah, well, something like that, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. To be honest, I'm not really sure. It's more like it's like me and Rin just tend to hang around with each other irregularly, talking or not about something or more. Something that more often resembles some twisted mockery of philosophy rather than normal, everyday things that friends chat about.
Well, that's good, isn't it? You're a new student and we should be promoting integration into the student body and such. I still don't remember all the buzzwords they spew at faculty at Yamaku Foundations, but that's about how it is. It's how it is. Hazuka isn't the most social person around these parts either.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
So she's talked about my suggestion to you?
Oh, no, not really. I think it's it's been more me pressing her to decide something. Maybe I shouldn't have.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I'm too soft with her when I shouldn't. I don't really know how to handle Tezuka. She's so independent and willful. I wonder if that's what... if this is what every old geezer of an art teacher who got his... Oh, God. That tongue is fucking creepy. Got his hands on a young and fiery prodigy felt like.
He chuckles ironically to himself a little bit, turning to face Rin's latest work, which she left drying on the easel. She departed so abruptly that I wonder if she considers it finally finished.
So let's see this painting then.
He leans in closer, peering at the canvas.
It draws you in, doesn't it?
Oh God, he's gone a little bit close there. Nomiya stands back, straight, his crotch was too close to me then. A dreamy, nostalgic visage. I don't answer him, as he seems to be taking my agreement as a given.
I sometimes stay here after hours just to look at Tezuka's paintings. She really just produced prodigious
At such a young... I don't know how to say that.
At such a young age. I get shivers just thinking of what she could become with a few more years of refinement. You asked what makes an artist, remember? This is it. They take a piece of the world and reshape it in their own image. Metaphorically, of course. Looking at her makes you wonder what the world looks like through her eyes. It's a wonderful thing to be a young and full of passion. The more extraordinary time of your life. You would do well to remember that, Naki.
Yes, sir.
It's so silly. People always ask artists, where do you get your ideas? As if ideas were something sold at the market for pocket change. You can explain inspiration. For people like Tezuka, it's like breathing. It's an instinct. I've met maybe one or two of the same kind of raw potential, but no amount of potential will amount to anything if one doesn't work to realize it. It's practice, technique, skill. Draw for an hour every day for a few years, and even the most hopeless case can become a possible artist. Tezuka is not brilliant because she was born with a natural talent for this kind of thing. She's brilliant because she works harder than anyone, ever since she learned to hold a pen, most likely.
Oh, God.
And all of it with her feet, no less. Absolutely phenomenal!
Silence finally lands in the classroom, as Nomi lets himself get drawn back into Rin's painting, gently murmuring acceptance towards the still wet canvas. What kind of things do you paint yourself? No, don't interact with him. I don't want to do more talking with this guy. As if waking from reverie, he looks at me, surprised at my talking to him.
Oh, I don't know. Not anymore. Oh, I don't. Not anymore, sorry. I became an art teacher only after my career in the field came to an end. Now I just pass on my knowledge to the next generation.
The way Nomi answers is curious, both giving and withholding information. I feel like asking more, but he cuts in before I get the chance.
Now you should run along, my boy. It's almost dinner time, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Have a good evening.
You too.
Oh, God. I quickly collect my stuff and step out into the deserted hallway, leaving the teacher alone with his musings. The weekend will be here soon. It's amazing how fast time flies here. I promised Emmy I'd join her for the celebration of her triumph at the track meet last week. That should be plenty of fun. Yes, no, it told me, the path to the good ending told me I picked the top option, so I will. I think the top and the middle one would both be the same, to be honest with you. Are you sure you want to go? The weather that's been wonderful for all of June has finally taken a turn for the worse. The laden clouds drooping over the town look worrisome, and the air feels heavy and still, just like before rain. The forecast says there's a 60% chance of rain this afternoon. Maybe this will mark the beginning of the rainy season. Of course, I'm sure. I've been waiting for all this week. Oh, darling. Joey, I've got the best work for you, Joey. Amy had planned a picnic at some nearby park. Oh, it's this bit again. With snacks aplenty brought from the convenience store. But the weather is this gloomy, it seems risky. I asked some other people to come too. They didn't want to go because of the weather. We have to prove them wrong. How wrong? Oh, you know. Like how it always rains when you think it won't. Oh, I can't do that. And you think, well, it doesn't. Well, no matter what, it's a win-win situation. I've been going without sweets for weeks because of my practice of the track meet, but now I can splurge on anything I want. Nothing is going to stop me now. I thought you were all about a healthy lifestyle and stuff. Oh, Hisao, you understand so little. There's not a single girl on the planet who doesn't love sweets. I don't like sweets. She doesn't count anyway. She doesn't count. Anyway, is this clear? Completely. We'll go and eat our fill of sweets. Damn straight we will. I'm going to have to work it off later, but it's so worth it. Emmy seems to be extremely determined about this. She's positively exhilarated, brimming with energy as always. But something seems special today. It's like she can hardly stop herself from jumping up and down on the spot. Come on! I grasp the wooden handle of the umbrella I bought and start to follow the two girls, who seem to have no qualms about leaving me behind if I keep daydreaming. My umbrella is really fancy. Fancy umbrella. Old-fashioned kind of a curved handle and a metal spike at the end. It used to belong to my grandfather. It looks like an antique, but it's in really good shape. Almost as good as new. It's really big too. I remember how my grandfather, my grandmother, and I all fit neatly under it when a rainstorm caught us on an afternoon walk years ago, when I was around 9 or 10. My grandparents are both gone now, but I still have the umbrella to keep me dry when it rains. We walk along the road leading down the school towards the convenience store, the clouds casting their dark shadow down on us. The weather seems to be taking a turn for the worse, and I'm pretty sure I just felt a raindrop on my head. Did you guys think of taking umbrellas? It really looks like it'll rain. Rin looks at her limply hanging sleeves and shrugs her shoulders. I don't have one. Besides, a little rain won't kill us. It might actually. I actually melt in the rain. She pushes her chest out, looking very confident about that. We aren't made of sugar. Actually, I am made of sugar. I'm a sugar man. I'm a sugar daddy. Oh! I thought about this. I thought that's exactly what girls were made of. Especially considering what you're planning to gorge yourself on today. She sticks out her tongue in reply. The walk down from the school to the local shopping district is not a long one. But it's not very short either. It's all downhill, so our steps roll easily, but time stretches out nevertheless. The distance is right there, in that grey area where you don't expect the trip to be quickly over with, but you aren't preparing for a long walk either. Thus, the trip is slightly too long to stay comfortably quiet the whole time, though the girls don't seem to mind. I should stop eating. Rin walks calmly ahead, seemingly lost in thought. I'm kind of wary about starting a conversation, since the last time it didn't ever end very well for either of us. I haven't exchanged a single word with her since then. Sorry, interruptions. Interruptions! Emmy, on the other hand, is way too happy about just walking. She seems to literally jump a little on every step, or skip over casks, or balance on the edge of the sidewalk. Every now and then she comments on something to which Rin replies in an automatic-sounding, nonsensical way that makes Emmy giggle a little. Look, little blood on the windshield. Ducks. Look, Rin, a tree. Purr. As we reach the bottom of the hill, the first raindrops begin to fall, and I feel one hit the top of my head, then two more hit my nose in quick succession. It's not one or two rain clouds anymore. It rained earlier this time. The entire sky has turned shadowy grey, billowing rain clouds swirling right on top of us. Oh shoot, I guess we aren't going to have a picnic then. What now? Maybe we could have a rain picnic. A picnic in rain. No, we don't catch a cold. I don't like getting me or my snacks wet. I kind of like it. Not the snacks part though. Emmy considers our problematic situation for a moment while I open my umbrella and lift it up, trying to hold it so that all three of us get covered. Wow, that's a weird face she's pulling. Hey, Hisao, have you been to the Shanghai yet? No! No! It's a cafe somewhere around here, right? I've heard of it. Oh god, you've been there, trust me. You don't want to go there. It's a nice place. It's a nice place. Let's go there and wait for the rain. If it's really a quick shower, we can still go out for a picnic. And if it gets any worse, we'll just order cake there instead. Neither Rin nor I have better ideas, so with Emmy taking the lead, we start walking briskly along a side street. The cafe is only a few blocks away, but even with the umbrella, we can't avoid getting slightly damp. The rain keeps coming down harder and harder. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Raindrops leave tiny dots on the blank asphalt road, which then combine into bigger patches like pointillist artwork being made in front of our eyes in mere seconds. It's pouring heavily, drumming on the hoods of the cars packed on the sides of the street, and already flowing in little creeks along the sidewalks. The yellow light shining towards the rainwater streaming down the window looks very warm and inviting. I shake the excess water off the umbrella and head inside with them, following Emmy to a vacant table in the furthest corner of the small cafe. The place is almost full. Apparently other people had the same idea as Emmy, and now we're all stranded together in here in this cozy little place. Just stuck here with Yuuko. Varnished wooden pillars and paper screens mixed with Persian-style tables and chairs, in discordant harmony, a contrast of old and new. Light jazz plays quietly in the background, though it's mostly drowned out by the murmur of the customers. This must be the busiest this place has ever been. There's only one waitress serving the full house, frantically gliding from one table to another, and trying to keep up with everything. Okay, so hopefully this means she won't talk to us for too long. To my surprise, I think I recognize her. Oh no. I watch her deliver a tray of teacups and pasties to another table by Yamaku students. And then take an order from a middle-aged couple sitting across from us before finally turning to serve us. Yuuko? Now that she's close and facing me, no! Knocking myself out. I see that it really is her, the part-time librarian of Yamaku in full waitress attire. It's a pretty cute outfit. Shut up, don't say that. And she has tied her hair up in buns to match. It's a completely different image from her mousy, plain style of her other job. Yuuko blinks a few times, confused, then remembers that she was about to say something. Welcome to the Shanghai. So you work here too? I thought you were a university student or something. Yeah, that too. So let her go. She's busy working, okay? Don't make her talk to you. You've got the excuse not to talk to her now. It's a part-time job, as you can see. It's Sundays, so there aren't any lectures. Good thing too, since the day has been so busy. I'm wishing for another pair of hands. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a rush, so as you can see, what can I get you today? Amy doesn't hesitate even for a second. Her eyes glitter like those in a kid in a candy store. Tea for everyone and cake for me! Yuuko tries to stay as formal and professional looking as possible, smiling cheerily at my ravenous companion. Today we have a choice of strawberry shortcake, raspberry layer cake, or lemon meringue pie. Strawberry, no, lemon! Actually, I'll take both! Oh god. She looks at me in challenge. I'll just take the pie. Nothing. Emmy makes a face at Rin as though she's bitten into a lemon. She's clearly unhappy with her for not joining in. Oh, come on, Rin. That's not polite at all. Nothing, thank you. No, you silly. I meant you should order something too. I'll take a straw then. My feet are all wet. Sorry? The drinking kind of straw. One, please. Yuuko is obviously uncertain of what to think about this. She fills it. A straw, you... Oh, God! I hate you. Get her a bloody straw. How you can be confused about this? She fiddles with her pen and stationary for a moment, looking like she's about to cry before deciding that we've finished ordering. Oh, I hate this so much. Thank you very much. I think her legs gave out then. She bows down a little too deeply and scampers to safety behind the counter. After that ordeal is over with, I have a chance to relax a bit and take a better look at the surroundings. Most every table is occupied by people happy to be out of the rain, thankfully sipping their tea while waiting to dry off. Fragments of grumbling about the lousy weather on discussions over recent homework carry from nearby tables into my ears. Each one overlaps the other, but all are covered by the sound of falling rain. Oh god. After a while, Yuuko returns to our table, carrying a tray with a huge teapot, 3 cups, a slice of cake, and 2 slices of pie. Oh god, she's about to explode. She slaps the tray onto the table with a clatter, almost sending the teapot toppling over into Rin's lap. We barely recover before she bows again and leaves, hurrying off to serve the other customers. God, I hate her. Emmy has been eyeing her strawberry cake very hungrily all this time, but somehow she managed to contain herself until Yuuko was out of sight. She digs in with gusto, although I can tell... Oh, there's this dead bug on the roof above me. Just like squished into the wall. I content myself with pouring tea for everyone and placing the straw in Rin's cup. Rin looks at the way the tea swirls round and round in her white china cup. Her eyes half closed, almost like she's being hypnotized. It's a weird looking cake. Looks like it was drawn. I pick up my fork and eye the food in front of me. What's the pie? Pie! The pie I got looks perfectly done. A thick layer of meringue on top, creamy lemon custard. Meringue pie? I can't remember what it's called. After having the first bite, I pause, savouring the combination of tangy citrus and smooth, sugary meringue. It's quite good, though a bit too sweet for me. It's very good. She's talking for a mouthful of cake, already halfway through her slice, even though it's not exactly small. I want to taste some of that. It's the old fork stabbing. Before I get to respond, she strikes out at my delicious pie and takes a piece of her fork and escapes with it. This is pretty good too. What are you doing? Have you a slice of her own? Yeah, but if I started on that before finishing the cake, it'd be rude, don't you think? Her insolence is outrageous, so I punch her, but the gentleman in me allows for no retaliation. Wait, what? I glare angrily at her, and she replies by sticking out her tongue impishly. Emmy is even more hyper than usual today, but I don't mind. It's good for her to let off some steam. Hey, Benny, let off some steam. I take another sip of the tea in my cup. It's good and hot, even though I don't usually care much for tea. And the atmosphere in the cafe is very relaxing. I don't mind spending the rest of the afternoon here, not even after Emmy orders her second piece of strawberry cake, and Rin spends most of the time staring fixedly at the rain streaming down from the heavens. Even Yuuko rolls her eyes at the third piece of cake disappearing into Emmy's bottomless stomach just as quickly as the previous two. Damn, that girl's got some stamina. Anyway, I'm going to stop here because I got to go eat food, and I sort of lost track of how long I've been recording for when I took a pause. Thank you for watching, guys. It's been Katawa Shoujo. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm trying to get back and just schedule these with everything. And I've Millbee. This has been Katawa Shoujo. I hope you enjoyed it as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.